Hello, my name is Aidan Franklin, and this is my mini lecture about listening. Listening is one of the most important forms of nonverbal communication, and we use it every day. Yet most people don't know how complex listening truly is. Listening itself can be broken down into 5 parts: select, attend, understand, remember, and respond. In the select part of listening, we are consciously deciding if we are interested in what the other person across from us has to say. Um, and essentially we are starting to take in the information. In the attend phase, we are making an effort to stay on task and focus on what the person is saying. Understanding is when we take in the information and asking ourselves if it makes sense. In the remember part of listening, we ask ourselves, are we able to recall or retrieve the information that we just heard? And responding is providing feedback, like questions or asking more about what the person just said to gain more insight. Um, there are also 4 main listening styles that people can be categorized into, which is relational, critical, analytical, and task-oriented. That first listening style is relational, which are people who are looking to connect with others at an emotional level. Basically, if you're on like the people side of conversations, you are a relational listener. Basically, it's if you connect people with people who tell stories or something along those lines. The next listening style is critical listening. People who are inclined, for looking for details and information in the content they are listening to, fall into that style of listening. They tend also not to jump to conclusions before they hear all the information. Next is analytical. They are people who are like the previous style, but they second guess or jump to the conclusion of what they think of what the information they are receiving is. And finally, is the final style is time and task oriented. These are people who prefer to gather information for the purpose of being practical. They are generally interested in the directions that lead to the completion of a task. They're like relational, but they're not really looking to connect with the speaker at a personal level. Uh, a difficult part of listening are some barriers. Some information processing barriers are word processing rate. The human brain is able to process between 600 and 800 words per minute, but we can't really stay focused on the information that is delivered to us at some point because we are not able to speak around 125 words per minute. The difference in the ratio of words against our listening because we process information faster than we receive it, so our minds tend to wander. Next is information overload. Sometimes it's difficult to listen properly if we have too many things going on in front of us at once. Next is receiver apprehension. Sometimes people worry or stress about gathering info properly, so they don't really tend to listen that well. Next is shifting attention. Some people are able to multitask, but some people can't. So basically, multitasking is a hard part and really doesn't improve listening. But some ways to improve listening are to turn off competing messages around you and listen with your eyes. When you're looking at someone while they're talking to you, it really shows that they're listening, and it creates a little relationship between you because you're deciding to listen to what this person is saying. Some other things to improve listening: avoid ambushing the speaker. Don't listen to gather info being used against the speaker. Try to keep an open mind. Next, avoid insulated listening, like don't listen into bits and pieces. Gather all information. And don't prejudge the speaker. Don't act like you know what is going to be said next. Um, Another way to improve listening is to avoid pseudo listening, like don't pretend to pay attention, but actually pay attention. Also, look for feedback, ask questions for clarification, and finally, just stop talking.